Hi Cancer, welcome back to my channel Tarot C. I am Z and I'm going to be doing your tarot reading, finding out what are the messages with the cards that come out in this reading for you today. Thank you so much for joining and for being here for the reading. So let's begin. Let's find out what cards come out, what messages come through with the cards. So we do have the Devil card. We do have Capricorn energy with this. You could be dealing with a Capricorn. We also have the Empress card. And you could be dealing with a Libra or even a Taurus with this. And we have the Eight of Pentacles. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Hierophant and we have more Taurus energy with this. So with the Hierophant card showing up over here at the bottom of the deck, this does feel like a pretty serious energy when the situation is being looked at. I do feel like with this Hierophant card showing up over here, this also feels like a situation being a means of a lesson and being an opportunity to be able to learn something that's going to contribute to being able to experience, being able to evolve in a lot of ways. That's actually going to be quite important, but this does feel like a pretty serious energy when it comes to a connection with someone or the desire for where connection is going to lead. But with the Devil card showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of someone being in a space where they may actually have a lot more that they are dealing with, that they are trying to get a hold of or struggling with than they let on. With the Devil card showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of somebody wanting to be able to connect, but it's like they are in a space where do you feel like they may be actually approaching things from a more so, it could be a more toxic energy when it comes to how they are approaching things with you. But I definitely feel like this person they could not be doing that intentionally or aware of how they are approaching things. They may not know better. And I do feel like there's a lot this person needs to learn. The Hierophant card showing up at the bottom of the deck. But this could even be a lustful energy when it comes to the way in which this person feels about you. With the Empress card showing up over here, I definitely feel like they are attracted to you. This does feel like an energy of being able to actually also have a lot of admiration for you and also a sense of wanting to be able to get close to you because of that. But the Empress card showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of being in a space where I do think that you may be thinking about the long term. Even with the Hierophant card, this does feel like an energy of being serious and wanting to be able to have a strong commitment. I do feel like with the Empress card showing up over here, this does feel like in this connection, there is still that potential for growth and expansion. Do you feel like you may be dealing with somebody who is a workaholic or somebody who is someone who it's like they don't know themselves with this Devil card showing up over here? And I do feel like this person may have good intentions, but it's like they're trying to figure out their way around. I do feel like with the Eight of Pentacles, this does feel like an energy of being able to experience a connection where I do feel like it could take some devotion, but it does feel like it could work. So I'm going to clarify these cards. So we have the Knight of Wands. We have the Seven of Cups in the reverse. And we have the Page of Wands. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Nine of Wands. So this Nine of Wands card showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of being in a space where there is a lot of thinking about things and wanting to be able to ensure that you're not making the wrong decision. I also feel like a desire to be able to self-protect in a connection. This may actually be something that's brought upon by being in a space where it's like you're trying to figure out trying to be able to understand where you stand, what your surroundings are, and how they're going to impact you. And I do feel like this is a self-protective energy. And with the Knight of Wands showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of somebody who kind of comes in quite quickly into your life. I do feel like there's a sense of being able to have an unexpected connection with someone, but this does feel like having a lot of a lot of momentum very early on in this connection. And do you feel like with this Knight of Wands, this also feels like a sense of this person being in a space where I do feel like they really do have strong desire for this connection. I do feel like there's actually a passionate energy when it comes to the way they feel about you, as well as this connection. But with this Knight of Wands, this does feel like things kind of starting very quickly, or this person getting to that place quite quickly. And with this Knight of Wands, this may also be a sense of moving too quickly and needing to be able to kind of pump the brakes a little bit in order to avoid burnout or an inconsistency when it comes to the way this person shows up for this connection. I do feel like with the Seven of Cups showing up in the reverse, this does feel like a pretty level-headed energy when it comes to the way you're seeing things, and even when it comes to being in this connection. This does feel like a sense of also being in a space where it's like I do feel like it's like you are actually taking this, it's like you're prioritizing this connection. And I do feel like there's also a sense of experiencing a connection that's impacting you on an emotional level. And for that reason, it stands out. But with the Page of Wands, this does feel like an energy of being in the beginning stages or the initial phases, which is where you could be within this connection. This does feel like it's exciting energy as well when it comes to this connection. And I do feel like with the Page of Wands showing up over here, this does feel like a sense of having a lot of ideas up for this connection. And I do feel like when it comes to the person you're dealing with, this person is in a space where they are actually thinking of being able to have a connection. It's going to be one that's going to contribute to a lot of excitement. I do feel like when it comes to what you bring to this person, it may be something more so grounded. And I do feel like those energies can really complement each other, especially when it comes to being able to get to this energy of the Hierophant. That does feel like a sense of being able to experience that strong commitment. And also, do you feel like there's also a sense of being able to have a sense of being able to work towards something that is going to be meaningful with this person? With the Nine of Wands showing up over here at the bottom of the deck, this does feel like a sense of almost being in a space where it's like you're cautious. And I do feel like this also feels like a very aware energy as well. I do feel like you may be leaning on your gut feeling, and I do feel like that's also something that is I do feel like it's on point, and it's steering you in the right direction when it comes to the connection, and also when it comes to the unfolding of this connection. So I do feel like trusting that gut feeling is also something that's in your favor and to your advantage. I do feel like you have strong intuition. So I'm going to clarify these cards. We have Free Yourself. We have Keep an Open Mind. And we have the Forgiving and Learning card. So this Free Yourself card showing up over here, I am getting it pertaining to the Devil card. I do feel like this is a sense of somebody who's in a space where they could be actually operating on autopilot, or there could be a lack of awareness as far as how they are kind of operating. And I do feel like when it comes to freeing yourself, this person may be in a space where it's like they are trying to get a hold on a lot of things. They could be somebody who actually struggles with a lot more problems than they let on. They could even have problems from addictions, or when it comes to over dependency on vices, and even when it comes to kind of trying to attach in this connection with you in a way that's going to lead to a codependent energy. This does feel like a sense of this person being in a space where I do feel like they may be working on being able to have a healthy connection with you, but I do feel like this person is learning a lot. And I do feel like that may be something you're also offering them, a lot of lessons that is actually leading to them being able to actually come out as the better version of themselves. But with this Knight of Wands card showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of this person needing to kind of slow down. And I also feel like when it comes to getting to know themselves on a deeper level, I do feel like with the Keep an Open Mind card showing up over here, this connection may be one that is different to what you may have expected, or even when it comes to the person you're dealing with, there may be somebody who's different from your usual type. But with that Seven of Cups in the reverse, this does feel like a pretty decisive energy as far as even being able to explore a connection further, or when it comes to even being able to take something seriously, as far as being able to, I do feel like, hone in and also give it your attention. And I do feel like when it comes to being able to have this connection with someone, they could be somebody who's quite different. There could be something about them that's different. So this does feel like an energy that is kind of requiring you to have an open mind when it comes to being able to understand where somebody's coming from. Do you feel like with the forgiving and learning culture up over here, this feels like an energy of being able to actually embrace the present moment and being in a space where I do feel like being able to connect with somebody based upon who they are right now, as opposed to the potential of who they could be in the future, or even as opposed to experiences from the past that may leave an impression on you. I do feel like with the forgiving and learning culture up over here, this also may be pertaining to the Hierophant. But this Hierophant card, this feels like a learning energy, and I do feel like this connection feels like it is one that is actually contributing to a lot of lessons as well. So I do feel like when it comes to getting to know someone, it does feel like it also has to do with getting to learn a person and this person getting to learn you in order to be able to make things work. I do feel like there is a sense of somebody being in a space where I do feel like they may be actually wanting forgiveness for the way they come across, or even as far as this Eight of Pentacles showing up over here, this does feel like a very busy energy as far as being in a space where someone may be coming across as if they're not entirely present or prioritizing this connection the way that it needs to. I do feel like there's an apologetic energy or even a regretful energy for an energy of somebody coming across in a way that they don't want to or they didn't want to. So those are the messages I'm getting with these cards for you, Cancer, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye, Cancer.